People now, every time, a woman gets a late night talk show, they talk about this woman's in late night, and that this is breaking a barrier. And I always think yes, that's great and it's important, but I always try and remember that you, Mary Tyler Moore, Lucille Ball, were smashing these barriers 60 years ago.
Yeah.
It's absolutely stunning.
Yeah.
And we need to remember that, because I think you guys...
Well, CBS didn't want me to do it.
They didn't want you to do the show?
No, they didn't want me to do a variety show. And I had a weird contract that said that that I'd signed a few years before with CBS, that if Carol, wanted to do a variety show, hour-long comedy variety show, CBS would have to put it on for 30 shows, whether they wanted to or not. That was some agent.
I could have used him in 1993.
And so when the time came, I pushed that button and got one of the vice presidents of CBS on the phone. And I said, I think I want to push that button. That's what we call it. He said, what button? He forgot about it. And I said, where I get to do 30. Oh, let me get back to you. So he called the next day. It's sure he got a bunch of lawyers, to find out about that contract. He said, yeah, I see that, Carol. But comedy variety is a man's game.
Yeah.
And he said, it's Sid Caesar, it's Jackie Gleason, it's Milton Berle, now it's Dean Martin.
Dean Martin, yeah.
Yeah, and he said, it's not for you gals. He said, we've got this sitcom we'd love you to do called Here's Agnes.
That is the perfect bad pitch sitcom. And by the way, I'd like to bank that now. Yeah. I will put up the money, Carol, if you'll do the Agnes show. Well, I think it's safe to say you proved them wrong.
I think so, yeah. Well, at least we got 30 shows out of it, and we wound up having 276, so we did okay.
It must have been interesting the next morning after the Carol Burnett show aired. I know that everyone else, in my house would be talking about it the next morning. Okay. Would be talking about all the things that we saw and what made us laugh. One of 6 kids. We're all packed together in this house. We're all about 6 months apart. I don't know how my mom did that. And it's the Irish thing. But we would be talking about, because we loved your show. And I'm curious, as Carol Burnett, you must have been hearing from people the next day about, you must have been curious. Well, would you guys, people from the street or just people in your life? Was there?
From the get-go, people were pleased.
Yes.
Now, we didn't score every week by any means, but we had a pretty good average, and the first few years, like first 2 or 3 or 4 years, I was more goofy, like I had been on the Gary Moore show, which is why they wanted me to have Lyle so that I could swoon over Lyle. And after that, I thought, wait a minute, I'm married and I've got children. Let's not do that anymore. That's when we started giving Lyle more to do other than for me to go gaga over.
Right.
And then we started getting more, I don't know, a little bit serious when we did the family show.
Yeah.
Where Eunice and Mama and Ed and some of those were, you look up dysfunction in the dictionary and you'd find that sketch.
It would get very dark. And I remember thinking it got to me in a good way. I remember very well when your character went on
The Gong
Show.
Yeah.
It's all played for comedy. And then you get gonged and the camera just stays on your face.
And it gets smaller and smaller and smaller.
Smaller. And you're thinking, is there going to be some reprieve or some laugh? And there wasn't.
No.
And I remember that to this second, how powerful that was. Yeah. And it gave me the idea that it doesn't always have to be funny.
Right.
It's one of those memories I have
Well,
from
some
television.
people hated it.
Of course they did, yeah.
It made them uncomfortable. And then others, after it had aired a few times, I was getting a manicure, and the manicurist was Russian. And she said, "You know that family you do? That's just like my family in Russia." So people identified.
But what's interesting too, you were playing this really real dysfunctional family, and then that is most comedy now, the comedy of discomfort and dysfunction.
Yeah.
So what you were, not initially, but what you were playing with a little bit was something that now is de rigueur. It's all comedy, I feel.
But you didn't see stuff like that on a variety show.
You did not.
That was different. And what's really funny was we only thought we were going to do it one time. So they had written for me to be Mama, and we were going to have a guest star be Eunice. But Eunice spoke to me because my mother had a lot of dreams that never came true. Yeah. And I said, I think I want to play Eunice. So then we were going to hire an older woman to play Mama.
Right.
And Bob Mackey, our costume designer, said, "Oh, let Vicky do it. We'll just take off her eyelashes and put her in a fat suit and put a wig on her, and that's it." So,
and she was so young at the time, playing
24.
Yeah, hilarious.
24 years old. And as I said, we hired her when she was 18 to be my sister, and she wound up being my mother.
The business will do that to you. It's so funny because you've done so much work. I've seen, obviously, Breaking Bad and the work you're doing on Your Honor, and you've done. I saw you on Broadway as Lyndon Johnson, and you killed it. You've sort of conquered all these different worlds, and I always go back to. It's funny. Every now and then I run into a Malcolm in the Middle. And it's one of the funniest performances I've seen on television, you as Hal. And it's a very particular kind of almost cartoonish energy. I'm not even going to say almost, that you're bringing to that role. And there are so many little ticks, but the physicality of it is absolutely hilarious.
Thanks.
And so I came to that show later. I think when Malcolm in the Middle was really, hitting on all cylinders, I'm working on the late night show, and I'm thinking, well, that's a family show for kids. I'm not really paying attention. And then I went back and I started seeing some of them later on in reruns, and then I started noticing that there are fans that do like mashups of all of your most amazing sequences, and I can watch those forever. I can watch those forever because I maintain that your shriek as Hal is one of the funniest things I've ever seen. And also, you run away funnier than anyone in comedy, I think. Your runaway is absolutely delightful. Does that make sense to you, your runaway?
Want to see it?
Yes.
There are so many scenes where Hal is up against it, and you decide to run away, and you do this thing where every part of your body is moving kind of incorrectly. It's like there's 35 cats inside a person suit trying to run away, and it is so hilarious. That's the kind of stuff, I think, physical comedy, when people can nail that, I think you're in a high stratosphere that most people don't get to experience. And I can watch that stuff forever. I really can.
That was an interesting job for me because everything else was cast. The entire family was already cast, and they couldn't find the dad. In the pilot episode, I think I have 3 or 4 lines, and that's it. Mm-hmm. And so I was trying to find the core of every character that I do. I look for what's at the emotional center of this person. And I'm looking for different ways, and I finally came across it, and I realized, oh, well, just keep this simple. I wrote down all the qualities that the Jane Kaczmarek character, who played Lois, had. Fierce, tough, resilient. And I go, oh, fierce, a wimp, tough, soft, resilient, gives cracks immediately. Yeah. And I just went the complete opposite. And one of the that I came to as her was fearless, and I went, oh, he's frightened. That's it. He's frightened of everything. And so once I grabbed onto that, everything in his life, he's frightened about being fired, about being a bad parent, about his wife leaving him, about spiders, about heights, about it's like, he's frightened about everything. And from that point, everything kind of grew.
And where did the shriek come from? Because it's so much fun. There was a sequence I saw once where you've gotten into what is it called? Race walking?
Yes.
You've gotten into race walking and you think someone else is more jogging than race walking, one of your teammates or competitors, and you accuse him and then he panics and he tries to race walk away and you say, don't worry, I've got this. And you start race walking after him when you could just run. And I look at it and I am not, some people say, well, to really see classic comedy, you need to look back at Chaplin, or you need to look at Laurel and Hardy. I think, yes, definitely true, but you see it all over the place. You just have to be looking for it. There are people that can do it, and obviously that was a really great idea, so I give the writers credit, and the director, but that character is one of the funniest characters in television, I think. It still endures, it's so
God, I haven't seen it in ages, though. I mean, it's I hope it does. And I have new generations of people coming up to me because it plays on Disney Channel, I think. And they said, my kids are now watching it. I loved it when I was a kid, and now my kids are watching this. And it's like, man, that's good when it can endure.
Well, it's also fascinating that you could be Hal and then, you can be Walter White. And I know that I think one of the things that I always realized is there's great comedy. It's a different kind of comedy. It can be very dark, but there's really funny moments between you and Aaron Paul. There's really funny moments in your life trying to make this transformation, trying to go through this. But if you look at the work that you're doing on Malcolm in the Middle and you're playing way up that end of the neck on the guitar, and then you look at the finale of Breaking Bad and you see where you've gone and you think it's impossible to imagine. It's crazy. It's a crazy range.
And in this town, most people want to be able to place you as doing something. Oh, Conan, well, he's a comedy guy. And he does.
I never get that.
You never get that.
I get he's trying really hard, and he's well intentioned. That's what I was been pigeonholed into. It. No, but exactly, yeah.
They want to pigeonhole you in that. So I did 7 years of Malcolm in the Middle, and it was great. And out of that, I had a couple offers to do a sweet, goofy dad on a sitcom right after that, and I thought, how could I do something different at this moment? It's so ingrained. I need to completely step away from that world. So easily said no to that. And later that year, same year, I got a notice that said, well, you did an episode of X-Files about 9 years ago, before Malcolm in the Middle. And the writer of that episode, Vince Gilligan, would like to see you about this show called Breaking Bad. Do you remember him? I said, no. I don't remember.
Hard pass.
I'm not going to go audition. And I said, sure. And I read it, and it was just incredible. And what Vince did and what he said he wanted to do at the outset is he wanted to change the main character throughout the course of the series, which has never been done in series television. If you look at Archie Bunker or Tony Soprano or whomever, they are the same people. They react to different stimulus, but they are the same person, whereas Walter White was going to change from a good, honest guy to becoming a killer.
Yeah.
As Vince Gilligan often says, he said, I just want to see if I can change a guy from Mr. Chips to Scarface. They're not going to let me. I know they're just not going to let me do it. But we'll see what we can do. Yeah.
He's such a sweet, unassuming guy.
Yeah.
Vince Gilligan. I've had the joy of hanging with him a little bit, and you would never sense that he was the creative center of, the best TV show ever. He doesn't act that way. If I had achieved what he had achieved, I'd be wearing an admiral's hat.
With epaulets.
Epaulets. I'd have epaulets. Yeah. I'd be carried around on one of those chairs. Yeah. I would let everyone know. But it's really amazing when you look at and it's funny because you probably heard this from a lot of people. I went back because my son never saw Breaking Bad. He was too young, but we started watching it together, and I went back to the beginning, and it's mind-blowing because I know the transition that's going to happen because I've watched every episode of the show when it was on, but now I'm starting again, and I still can't believe it's going to happen.
Oh, wow.
Do you know what I mean? You still think, no. This on some level, I don't see how that could possibly happen. Yet there's not a false note along the way, and it's that old saying that a curve is an infinite number of straight lines. That it's like, no, it is possible. You just have to make sure that the changes are very subtle, and each one has to be earned. Mm-hmm. It has to be earned, and I think that's what's magical about that is everything Walter White does is earned.
Yes, and that's the writing. It is the writing. It's. I will always say this because an actor gets inspired through great writing, and an actor can only perform so much. If an actor got B-level material, working at his or her best, I do believe I could get it up a grade level. But if I got C-level material, you're getting a B out of me. That's as far as you can go. It really does take incredible writing. If you get A-level material, you treat it like the holy grail. It's like, oh my God, just don't screw this up. Oh my God. And Breaking Bad was like that. You're turning the pages and going, oh my God, I cannot believe he's doing this. Oh my God. And yet it's not an aberration. It's something that was set up. If you were attentive to it, it does track if you go back, and still it's surprising to you.
Hard to believe. It's been, how many years has it been since Breaking Bad ended? Has it been 8 years?
You're looking off. You could look at me.
No, I have Walter White right here, and you're looking at me.
Does no one know how? No,
Brian, wait here. I'm going to try and find out.
But wait,
I'll be back.
Well, no, Conan, I could tell you.
I'll head this way. How many years has it been?
I don't know.
God damn you! Damn you!
2013. 2013.
Yeah, 2013. We
so that's been it's someone do the math.
9.
Well, it depends on when this airs.
That's
to
true.
Be fair.
We're holding on to this for a few years.
For years.
I think people need to be ready for this interview. The way it started, they really need to be prepared. We need to clear things up.
9 years so far. Yeah.
So, but when you go back as you've done, and I don't think I'm spoiling anything here, to pick up and have these moments in Better Call Saul, does it feel like you're putting on an old suit?
Mm-hmm.
It does. It feels like that.
Yep. It's slipping. You know how for an actor, when you sit in the chair and you start putting on the makeup and you start looking at it. When I did the HBO movie All the Way, mm-hmm. where I played LBJ, it took 3 hours of prosthetic makeup, 3 hours every morning. And although I used it as my preparation into getting into that headspace to play that guy, that big, boisterous, domineering man.
Right.
And I can see the transformation happening when I'm looking in the mirror and they're applying all the extra nose and the ears and the things, and pretty soon you start talking like this, and God damn it, get out of here! Where's my soda? And start poking people, and you go, and you become that guy. It really helped. Same thing with even putting on Walter White's desert boots and his khakis and his shirt, his long sleeve shirt, and that very, very iconic pork pie hat of his, and there he is, and you go, I know what this feels like. And then it just kind of helps you slip into that character.
And because all this time has gone by and you've done all these other things, and the fact that you can access it, which, I imagine is, that's the craft.
Well, I imagine, but think, if for a comedy tour that you did, and a routine,
Yep.
and if someone said, remember this? And you go, oh, yeah. And remember this, and then you might pick up on it and go, and then I did this, and I remember that.
Yes.
And you start, it starts ticking away at your brain, and your memory starts coming back, and you start to be able to recite certain lines from it. You're going to be rusty, like you are in most of your shows. But
first of all, you're not wrong. I'm not going after you for being wrong, but saying it out loud seems cruel and unusual.
I always thank my honorees for being a good sport afterwards, because it's not easy.
Right.
Have you ever been roasted? I've never been roasted.
I get roasted every day.
Every day. Yep.
I have... And when I had a writing staff, I did feel, because I would go in and they would just go to town. If I slipped up or if I made any mistake at all during a taping, I would hear about it, and they delighted in it. But I also delighted in going after them then. So there was a lot of that I think, to your point, when you're done with something like that, you almost felt like you've been to a spa. Because you get the bile, like the bile literally comes out of your pores. And I find it to be, there's something really magical about it when it goes well, when it goes really well. And it's one of the things why I brought up how the person reacts is so key. Because you're giving them a gift if they see it that way.
Take it. Go ahead.
Go ahead. If you can laugh if you can laugh during that, it's kind of joyous. And when you're done,
I always say to the honoree, I said, if you're having fun, everyone's going to have fun.
Right.
And to your point, their laugh can also make the joke better. My most famous joke when I was a young comedian was at the roast of Jerry Stiller, Friar's Roast.
I've heard about this. Is this B. Arthur? I want to hear this. Please,
yes.
Please say this. Please say this.
So this is like 1999 or something. I'm just starting to get a little bit of a reputation around New York for doing the roasts, and I loved it because here I was doing shows with Milton Berle and Buddy Hackett, and of course my hip friends in the alt comedy scene were making fun of me, but I was like, this is the ultimate alternative comedy. Like I'm up here with these, Mount Roastmore of comedy. Well, you guys are out there, in these without a microphone in these like alt bars, and I'm like, I'm gonna come up here and get made fun of by Milton Berle, and at this point now, I'm like, a Comedy Central, I don't know what they would call it, consultant. Like, I would help. If Kevin James was going to roast Jerry Stiller, I was going to write Kevin's set, my set, Jerry's set. Like, I worked months, 24/7. I did it all. It was like, fresh baked daily jokes. Here's the latest. And this is your speech, and this is your speech. And everybody would have input. And, I'd work with everybody to make sure they owned it and felt it. But I was all in on these shows. And B. Arthur was one of my idols. I just loved her. And the Friars Club would have the podium in the middle, and then the dais would go 40 people each side like an airplane wing, and Freddie Roman would get up and it would introduce everyone there for 20 minutes. Everyone would take a bow, and I did the same joke every year. When Freddie would introduce Donald Trump on the dais, I would stand up and wave, just as Donald had his one moment of the night. I would always take his moment and act like I was him and wave to the it was like, 2,000 people.
He was a good sport even then.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. And, Howard and Robin, they'd be up in the balcony, and, it was like a who's who of politics and boxers, and all of it was always just as I loved that it was just all these New York socialites and stuff. And B. Arthur shows up because she's friends with, Ann Mira and Jerry Stiller, so she's a guest, and she's on the dais. And, of course, I'm towards the end of the show, and no one's other than her little bow in the beginning, no one's mentioned B. Arthur. And I'm like, that is disrespectful.
I'll fix this. I know what to do.
So I have my script. There's no teleprompters. I have my script, and I don't know what I was thinking or where it came from, but in my nervous scrawl, just somewhere in my margin, I wrote B. Arthur's dick. And I sat there another 30 minutes.
That note just sold at Sotheby's for $600,000.
And one of my friends from the Friars Club, one of the board members, Joe Zapala, he was the ambassador to Spain.
Right.
He's sitting next to me, an older guy, and I show him. I point on the paper to him next to me. It just says B. Arthur, and he looks like, no. Don't ruin this perfectly nice.
You were warned.
This perfectly nice evening. No. And I look at him like, man, I should have asked a comic, not an ambassador. and I finally wait my turn, and I'm next. And Sandra Bernhard, who I love, is up there, and she's doing a risque sort of lap dance thing to Jerry, and writhing around Jerry, and he was very squeamish. He was very embarrassed, and that was the joke, is how he got uncomfortable.
Yeah,
and his son is there, and his daughter's there, and his wife Ann Mir is there, and the whole thing, and is just delightful and hilarious and weird and totally Sandra. And then they introduced me, and I said, my opening joke was, I couldn't help myself. Sandra Bernhard, holy shit, I wouldn't fuck you with B. Arthur's dick. And to your Conan, to your earlier point, the joke's okay.
Yeah.
To me, the joke's okay. But it's like you say about Rickles, it's the balls of it,
yes.
But it's the brazenness part of it. But it was her reaction that made it made my triple into a grand slam.
Yeah.
It was she just slow burned me, and the camera held on her, and she just evil eyed just. She murdered me by just looking at me.
Right.
And that made everything okay. Like, she gave a classic Golden Girls, like, slow burn take.
Perfect.
And she really made it perfect. And, a year goes by, that year, like, Time Out in New York, Jokes of the Year, it makes the end of the year thing,
That's
like,
great.
moments. And I'm like, oh, my God, I'm getting famous off this B. Arthur joke. I wonder if she's hearing about it. So now I'm like, oh my God, I hope she's not upset. I love B. Arthur. To think that I would embarrass her or hurt her in any way. Like, she was a good sport, but maybe on the inside, is she getting asked about this in interviews? Because the roasts were starting to take off to become this like cultural thing. And I see that she's performing her one-person show in Los Angeles. It's a fundraiser for an animal charity, and I didn't have a lot of money back then, and the tickets were expensive, and I got one ticket. I went by myself, and I brought flowers, and somehow I weaseled my way backstage, and she had a long line of well-wishers who wanted to congratulate her, and I waited to go last so that I could actually talk to her, and I gave her the flowers, and I said, Miss Arthur, it's like a year later. I don't know if you remember me, but we met at Jerry's roast, and she said, you nailed me, you prick.
Well, good for you, but good for you for going. Good for you for
beautiful,
going.
and the best lay I ever had. So, roast
She
in
was
peace.
hung like a horse.
Roast in peace. Roast in peace. Roast in peace, B. Arthur. I loved her. She was so cool.
You get on this terrific TV show in a role that just was perfect for you, this great role as April in Parks and Rec. And so I'm just curious, how did that happen? How did you get that part?
It's a weird series of little things that happened, but that specifically was because I don't even know how to start. But basically, I came out to LA because I was up for Judd Apatow's movie Funny People, which I got, but he was trying to cast a completely unknown comedian. That's a whole different story, but where he wanted to cast a stand-up comedian, and I wasn't doing stand-up, but I was doing improv and sketch comedy at UCB.
Right.
But I basically like pretended to be a stand-up to get that part or whatever, and then Allison Jones was casting that movie, and I didn't have an agent at the time, but because I made it up the ranks of the audition process for that, I flew out to LA for 1 week to do a chemistry read with Seth Rogen, and then while I was in LA, Allison Jones was like, would you mind going on a couple other meetings, and how do you feel about that? And I had no idea what was going on, because I'm like, this is crazy. I was like, I had nothing going on for me. Like in New York, I was like doing comedy stuff, but I was like, sure, like I'll go to whatever meeting you want, lady. I don't give a shit. And then so she like basically said, she was like,
this is infuriating any actor
no,
out
I know,
there.
believe me, I know.
There's so many starving actors out there like, I'm sorry, I'm Allison Jones, a top casting director. Would you go on a few big-time reads? Hey, lady, I don't know. I got nothing to do. I don't give a shit.
First of all,
Fuck off.
I was kidding.
Yeah, I know.
Second of all,
I know.
Allison Jones changed my life, okay? As I'm sure she's changed so many people's lives. But
Not mine.
well, not everyone, went to, whatever. You know what you did. But she
went to the devil and signed a contract in 1993?
You know what
That's
you
what
did.
I did.
You know what you did.
I know what I did.
But, so she was like, I'm going to send you on these couple meetings or whatever. One of them is with the creators of The Office. And The Office was on the air at the time, and it was huge. And so I was like, yeah, like, I'll go meet the Office people. I don't give a shit, lady. But I was in LA for the first time. So I was like, LA, like, I was wearing jean shorts. Like, I was like, I didn't realize the weight of that meeting. And then, so I went to the set of The Office. It was like somewhere in the fucking valley, or I don't even know where I was. But all I remember is like, I went into, I think it was Mike Schur's office. And I kept seeing the actors from The Office, like Mindy Kaling and BJ Novak, and people like walking by, and I'm like, oh my God, those are the people in The Office. And he was like, that's because we're on the set of The Office. And I was like, this is crazy, dude. And then and then we were waiting for Greg Daniels, and then Greg came in, and again, they hadn't written the pilot at that point. They were just talking about they had Amy, and they were talking about the ideas for the pilot or something, and then I don't know, like, I don't even know what I did in that meeting. Mike Schur says, like, she was the weirdest person I ever met. I wasn't being weird, okay? I don't even know what I was doing, but Greg came in, and then, you know how weird Greg is. And then
yes, I do.
Greg and I, like, immediately we literally started talking about the meaning of life. I don't even know what we were talking about. It was like we were high or something. Like, he came in, and he was like, what happens after you die? I'm like, okay, this is what I've been saying. I don't know, dude. Like, what do you think? And then we were like,
this is Greg's process, by the way. This is how he casts. Steve Carell apparently was awful in his audition, but then had a really good theory for what lies at the end of the universe. And Greg, that's what Greg wanted to know.
All I remember is, like, I have an image of Greg, like, I want to say he was, like, doing a Rubik's Cube. That he wasn't, but I want to say he was, like, knitting something, or I don't know.
He was. If it was Greg, he was probably knitting a Rubik's Cube.
Okay, he was like knitting a Rubik's
a functional Rubik's Cube.
He wasn't making a lot of eye contact, and I just remember he was like, I don't know, and I was looking at him, and I was like, this guy is fucking really weird. And then we were talking, and then Mike was just watching it, like, what am I watching here? And then he was basically, then he started telling me the idea for the show. And he was like, Amy's going to have an assistant, and maybe she's going to be like this. And then I was like, that's a stupid idea or something. Not really, but I was basically like, oh, like, she should have an assistant that's like a college intern that's like really smart, that is just doing it for credit and like hates everybody, but like is good at her job but doesn't give a shit about it or something. I pitched him the character basically, and then he was like, okay, and then and then that was it, and then I heard.
I told Greg Daniels exactly what my character was and how it would fit into this show, and he went, okay,
whatever.
No, I don't know.
No,
I'm pretty
cool.
sure that's what happened. And then I pitched him that, and then basically I found that was it, and then I left, and I'm like, well, that was weird, and then basically a couple weeks later or something, they called me. They're like, you're you're in this show. And I think the original pilot that they wrote, the character's name was Aubrey. It was just Aubrey in the pilot.
Right.
And then when NBC, I guess, was going to sign off on me, they made me audition to play myself.
Yeah.
They were like, you got to audition now. I'm like, to play myself? Like, I
Right.
hope I get the part. Like, then I went in and did an audition where I don't even know what I did. And then they changed it into April, and then that was it. And I'm like, great. I didn't even want to be on TV. I was trying to be in movies, bro.
Let me just say one thing, because it's just that sometimes the universe, everything comes together in too nice a way. Greg Daniels, who is running The Office, and with Mike Sherry is doing Parks and Recreation. He and I started out in the business together. Just quick disclosure, as writing partners, and we've been friends forever. And we text each other all the time. And Greg I love him, and he's brilliant and
love him
really
too.
super funny. His mind works differently. This is a text I got on my way this morning to Larchmont to come do this podcast, not knowing that Greg's name would even come up. I'm just going to, talk to Aubrey. I get this text out of the blue from Greg. I haven't heard from him in a couple of weeks, and I just get this text. How you doing? I had a weird dream you hurt your left hand. Hope you're great. I just picked up my phone and was like, okay, you brought up Greg. I've got to...
I don't know. That sounds sexual.
I know. So I'll be calling him later to find out exactly what happened in his
your
dream.
left hand jerking me off. What's up? It's me, Greg. Remember us?
You jerk off Greg Daniels?
In the dreams, we both... It's a... What the hell happened here?
You numbed your left hand for the stranger.
Yeah, what were you doing with your left hand?
Oh,
Greggy.
man.
Little Greggy?
Yeah, exactly. Not
Jesus.
little Greggy. It's made of concrete, that thing. It broke my hand.
God, you guys are sick.
You're sick. You did this. You introduced that whole image and then circled around and accused me of being a
It's
perv.
really you two weird Catholics at the end of the table. That's
I know.
Doing all of
I
this.
know.
If it's wrong, it feels so good. Right, Conan?
Well, that's interesting. That's fascinating. When you got this part, and then you're off and running. You're off and running.
I got that part. I got Funny People, and I got Scott Pilgrim versus the World, directed by
Jesus.
Edgar Wright, in 1 week.
Oh my God.
When does that happen? Man, I was in the right time, in the right place, in the right jean shorts.
I've just realized that when I auditioned for the late night show in '93, I was wearing very short jean shorts.
Oh, really?
I think that
Remember when I first met you for this podcast?
you were wearing super short jean shorts.
That's right.
Hey, you got to show a little leg, baby.
A little bit more than that. You gotta show that little undershelf, you know,
You want to play in the big leagues.
that little overhang
up a
that
little
Tom
bit.
Cruise climbs in Mission Impossible.
I learned
my
that.
God.
Yeah. I was lucky. I was a lucky little waitress from Queens.
The thing that imprinted on me when I was young, I would say, to my influences when I was very young was Bob Newhart, yourself, and that amazing Carol Burnett show,
Wow.
and Warner Brothers cartoons. And I think you can take those three, and no offense to Bob, but if I had to, he can drop out, and it'll just be Warner Brothers cartoons and you. And I know Bob well enough to be able to say that. But that's all the comedy class you need in timing, and just the joy of performing comedy. So that was in me somewhere. I had just watching you do your thing, and it wasn't just the sketches. You did something that was very unusual at the time, question and answer. You did a Q&A segment on the Carol Burnett show, and I remembered that blew my mind, that you could stand out there in front of people, not hide behind a character, and talk to people, and you'd see real people in the audience ask you questions. I maintain, and I've said this before to people, human beings have this crazy ability to know when something is organic. They know when it's rehearsed, and they know when it's spontaneous. I don't know why we know, but we do. And I would watch those segments and see you be funny in the moment in front of, back then, half the country is watching. And I thought, where did that come from? The guts to do that on CBS, one of the most watched shows on television, that walking without a net on a tightrope.
Well, what happened was when we were going to do the show, the executive producer, Bob Banner, said, Carol, instead of having a comic come out and warm up the studio audience, you should come out as yourself before you get into all those sketches with your fat suits and blacked out teeth and fright wigs and all of that, so that they get to know you, and just open it up to Q&A. And I said, I don't think I can do that. I mean, I'd be too frightened. I'd be afraid that they wouldn't ask anything, or that if they did, I wouldn't have a good answer. And he said, well, we'll put some plants in the audience, and have. I said, no, if we're going to do it, and if I have egg on my face, at least they'll know it's real.
You can't fake that.
Got to be real. So then I said, okay, we'll do like the first 4 shows, 4 weeks. And if it's terrible, it's goodbye. We won't do it anymore. So I went out there. First show, I was terrified. And some people did ask a question or two. But I mean, if you look at the first episode, it was really goofy. It wasn't that good. But then it aired. And then the next week, some people would come and they were ready to ask questions ready. And then I started to get into the groove and love it. And it became one of my favorite things to do. And it was great because I would do maybe about 15 minutes and then we'd do the show. If the show was long, we'd only have maybe 5 minutes of Q&A, or if it was short, we would do the whole 15 minutes. But some of the stuff that we did, that people were just wonderful. There was this one woman, her name, she looked like B. Arthur when B did Maud.
Yes. Kind of imposing, a little fierce.
Yeah. And she got up, she raised her hand, and I called on her, and she said, I want to come up and sing. And I said, come on up, Well, she was up there like that. And I said, what's your name? And I remember she said, Terry McCann. And I said, so what do you want to sing, Terry? And we had a 28-piece orchestra over there. And without hesitation, she said, looked at the band and she said, you made me love you in the key of G.
You made me love you.
And the audience was laughing, and she went, okay. And then she started, you made me love you. I didn't want it. She was good.
Yeah.
Now I came in and I started to join with her.
Yeah.
So we were wailing away, and really, because I knew the song, she knew the song, and the audience was clapping, and it was all. And then comes to where we're going to end it, right? Uh-huh. I had a different way that I thought it should end from what she is. So I went, you made me love you.
Yeah.
I wanted that. She had a different way. So after all this wailing, clapping, and everything, it was kind of petered out, And she looked at me and she said, you screwed it up.
I love that it's the Carol Burnett show, and she's whatever she is.
No,
Millie O'Sullivan is telling you screwed up.
Maybe it was actually B. Arthur.
Yeah, it was B. Arthur in a wig.
Well, you know what? Later on, I heard from some of her relatives, about maybe 5 years ago, she died at the age 100, and they played this at her memorial.
Oh. I was thinking about when you just said you had a 28-piece orchestra.
Yeah.
And I was thinking about it because I want to get this straight. The show that you did, which ran on CBS from 1967 to 1978, it won 25 Emmys.
What?
And it could not exist today.
No.
It doesn't, that world doesn't exist anymore. You had a 28-piece orchestra and you had 65 to 70 costumes a week. And
do the math. In 11 years,
Yeah.
Bob Mackey designed over 17,000 costumes.
Jesus. But I mean, it was a time when I don't think we'll see that again, where you had a large portion of the country watching. And that meant, because of the advertising power and the star power of the people that would come by, it worked out. It was very different. And what's happening now to Variety is it just is getting. You have that feeling every now and then. You'll pick up a magazine at the newsstand and it weighs next to nothing because everything's online. And it's a magazine that's a famous magazine that's been around forever. And it's glossy, but it weighs. It's like 15 pages long. And I think that's what's happening in a lot of talk and Variety too. Is it's unimaginable to have.
Also, when we were casting and everything, and I was fortunate enough to get Harvey, who was brilliant. And so Tim didn't come on the show as a regular till the 9th season.
It's so funny. Most people don't know that. Harvey Korman always knew, and I was lucky enough to have him on the show, and he came on and lay on the couch like it was a psychiatrist's couch. And he was wearing like a safari jacket, and I was crying. I was laughing so hard. And then Tim, we were lucky enough to have him on a bunch of times. But you think of Tim as always being there, 9th season.
Yeah, but we had him on as a regular guest quite often, but he was doing other shows. He had a Tim Conway Variety Hour at one point. But nothing that he ever did lasted more than 13 weeks.
Yeah.
He even had his license plate, 13 weeks. But one of my favorite Conway stories is he did a film comedy called Rango.
Yeah.
And it was film where he was this inept cowboy.
Yeah. Tim
needs an audience where he can just go and so they're filming and it was not good. It was not good that he was kind of hornswoggled. He couldn't do what he usually did.
He's in a vacuum because he's on a film set.
So now they're on location, and this guy from ABC is going to come and tell Tim that the show is canceled. But Tim didn't know it yet. So he's in his motorhome and he's changing for the next scene and whatever. And there's a knock on the thing, and the guy who came in from ABC was very nervous. It was like he was an underling, and he said, "Hi." He said, "Oh, Mr. Conway, I'm Warren Tart. I'm from ABC." And Tim said, "Yes, hi." And he said, "Well, stop doing this."
Stop doing this?
Oh my God.
Stop doing this.
Oh, no.
Stop doing this. That's how they canceled him.
I was told stop doing this many times, and I never listened. I think that's the magic, is you just don't listen.
The best thing that I've learned over the years when you're writing it and shooting it and then editing it, it just keeps changing each time. And then what I always do, and it drives everybody nuts, but it's true, is I'll sit down and say, okay, so you just saw the latest episode of Barry. You go to a bar and you're sitting with your friend, and your friend goes, "Oh, you just watched the latest episode of Barry?" "Yes." And they go, "What's it about?" "What do you say?" You know what I mean? And it's like, well, it's about a guy, and like that order and that of the information is how we should probably lay the story out. And it'll be interesting is they'll tell the story and it's going smoothly. And then you go, "That's great, but you've never once mentioned Fuchs." So we got to go back and make it so you can't talk about it without mentioning him. Or you'll talk about the whole thing like, "That's great, but you never once mentioned Barry," which happened season 2. We had a whole episode that I wasn't in.
Right.
And Alec Berg and I went, "You're not in the show."
It's my favorite episode.
Yeah, it's my favorite episode. He goes, "You're in 2 scenes."
That's the only one I've seen.
Oh, yeah.
That's the Emmy winner.
Yeah. I thought Henry was Barry. I'm Barry? People are always like, "What's it like working with Henry Winkler?" And it really is all about the cake that he brings to set. Oh. He just brings bundt cake. I'm like, "Henry, you're losing your mind in this scene and you're on the verge of," and he's like, "And then after that, can I give the crew the bundt cake?" Like, Robert Wisdom's going to scream at you and make you cry. And he's like, right. Well, I have the coffee and the bundt cake. Right over, and he has a story about everything. Right over in this corner, Gene Shalit attacked me. Or whatever it is. He wasn't attacked by
He
Gene
was one of the
Shalit.
first celebrities I saw when I came out to L.A. with Greg Daniels in 1985. We went to something, and one of the first celebrities, not the, but one of the first celebrities, and you have to remember, you guys are too young, but Happy Days in the 70s was the biggest thing in the world, and the Fonz was the biggest part of Happy Days. And in my school, in my English class, there was a big poster of the Fonz on the wall. The teacher had put it up just to like try and pacify us. He was such a big thing. So I get to L.A.
This'll calm them down.
This'll calm them down. Hey.
How do we calm these children down?
Maybe Farrah Fawcett?
And they're like, yes. Here's a picture of Abraham Lincoln.
Here's one of the Three Stooges.
No!
The Fonz. Cool.
Look at them, sir.
But we went to some event, and I couldn't believe it. But everyone was going to their cars, and like this big, almost like a station wagon pulled up. The valets brought up a station wagon, and it was raining really hard. And one of the windows had been left open. And Henry Winkler came out to claim the car, and his wife was getting in the car, and he opened up the back seat, and he took like this big rag and started wiping the water off the back seat. And I thought, what's the Fonz doing? He's some schlub wiping water off the back seat of a station wagon.
Yeah. And
what happened?
He jumped in the car. He quickly went, "Hey!" And then I got him. It is him. No, he's the sweetest guy on the planet.
Very sweet.
He's a very nice guy, and so he's a guy that you can also, when I would on set be kind of overwhelmed or whatever. He would always be like, "I just want you to know you're doing a wonderful job," and he would walk away.
That's
and
so
I was
nice.
like, "That's sweet."
It's interesting that my son and I are such Barry fanatics that we last year decided we need to go back and rewatch them all. We did that before the last season. So we went back and watched all of them again. And what struck me was how there's an arc to the tone of the show that's very organic. It's a compliment.
Yeah.
But if you watch the first Barry, second Barry, third Barry, it's much lighter. And then and it's almost, when you start down this path, and I was loving it, the tone starts to gradually change, but it's subtle. And now, if you look at where we are now, you can't believe the arc. You can't believe where you started, which to me is a real achievement.
Yeah, that kind of was, when you're writing it, you kind of start with this kind of idea that is kind of on the face of it could be a very kind of glib idea. And then when you try to do it realistically, you kind of move on, and then it's finding it and you go, oh, this is like, this is the tone of the show. And then I think there was just some touchstones. I mean, one in season 1 was when Barry is in the car with his friend Chris, and he has a choice to like kill him or not. And he kills him, and there's no joke after that. And I remember being in the edit and going, Alec Berg directed that episode, and we were going, well, the next scene is like a comedy scene. What do we do let's just put it in there and see what happens. And it didn't hurt anything, and it was like, oh, that's interesting. We can do that. So it was a bit like having some sort of machine that you went, well, we're still afloat. We're on a boat and we're trying all these things and we haven't sunk yet. So let's try that. We can go in that direction. But a thing I always thought of as we were moving forward was the movie Rosemary's Baby. If you watch that movie, starts off very purposely like a Doris Day movie.
Yep.
It starts off, there's nothing, overtly creepy about it. It's like a very nice couple buying a place, an apartment, and at the Dakota, and it kind of moves it forward. And then as it's happening, the tone starts to slowly shift, in a way. And so that's always stuck with me, and that to what you're talking about. But then I don't know about you, you've experienced this too. When you're writing something, you're kind of like, it's how you meet people too. It's like we're writing the character and you're meeting all these characters, and it's how you meet somebody. It's kind of superficial, and you have your initial take on them or impression of them. And then as you hang out with them, you start to get to know them better, and they just become, slowly and increasingly more complicated, and it's just trusting that. And then also, I think the other thing I'll say is when you're dealing with murder, it was very hard for me to be funny about it. It could be strange, but it was hard for me to have someone get, the Janice Moss character get killed and then kind of forget about it. And I was like, no. When she dies, it's for the whole show. Like, you can never forget about her. Every episode she's mentioned, because I think that's what happens when someone loses somebody. And so you would be in the writer's room and everybody's going, what was the comedy? And it was like, no. But we got to hold on to that. We have to hold on to that and just trust that it'll work.
But also, is it a comedy? Why does it have to be a comedy?
Yeah, that
Why
was
does
in
it
their
have to
room.
be-
That's true. Yeah, that's funny you say that because I just did it. But I do, I've been doing a ton of press, so I'm a little tired. But
So why was the last piece of press you did?
This
Literally,
is
this
you.
is the last thing you want to
No,
do.
I have more press. No, I have more press after this.
I've done just about every shitty thing you can think of.
Like, I'm scraping the bottom of the barrel. They reintroduced me to shows that were canceled. I went to.
I just did Regis.
I just went to Bonnie Hunt's house. I just said, Bonnie, let me tell you about Barry. And she said, I don't have a show. And I was like, listen, Katie Couric, she doesn't want to hear all these people. They don't know. They don't know me. I said, why didn't you get the episode?
I saw you on Hannity. Dude.
I was on Hannity.
Yeah.
I was like, look at me when you talk to somebody. When you talk to a man, you look at him. No, but it is a thing you get a lot of, which is this a comedy or not? And it's like, no, we're just telling a story.
It's so funny because this season of Barry starts off in this very dark place, and then I'm not giving anything away, but at one point, NoHo Hank is with his partner, and they have a cut to him, and he's wearing this hat and these glasses, and I lost it. It's such a funny, and so to me, this idea that things can be incredibly dark, but then and to me, it makes the funny much funnier.
Yeah. Also, if what we learned was that as long as it stayed within that character, where you would say, well, NoHo Hank, this is what he would wear in Santa Fe.
Yes. Yeah.
This is what he would want to wear. That's what he's wearing, which we always thought was very funny. So it's always like when it comes out of honesty, it kind of works. And the things that wouldn't work was when I would, hand of God, comedy nerd, try to come in and create something that wasn't coming organically out of a situation or the characters, and that was usually the stuff we would lose.
Oh, good. He's taking a drink of water. I'm going to get a question in. So, oh my God, he's not swallowing. Harrison. This behavior is not worthy of you. A man of your stature, all you've achieved, this is not worthy
We
of
should
you.
also mention that he's been eating those little cuties, those little orange slices this whole
The
time.
smallest orange I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Make a tiny mini nectarine.
Yeah.
A
It's
tangelo, if
adorable.
you will. And you've been eating it section by section.
Little cuties,
Yeah.
they're called.
Yeah.
That's nice.
That's what I do.
Are you glad he finally piped up?
Yeah.
Yeah, isn't this worth it?
Incredible comment about little cuties.
Great.
Think if we didn't have that, what would we do? What would we
Just
do?
trying to paint a picture for the listener.
I think that's very good. If only there were cameras here.
Oh,
Why are there cameras here? This is on the.
This is just for tax purposes. I need to be able to show that we made a podcast,
Okay.
and then we get to write it off because I monetize everything. I now own your likeness because you've been on the podcast, and you need to buy it back from me for the new Indiana Jones film to come out. That's how smart I am. That's what makes me different from other people in this business. I'm a real whiz, Harrison. A real whiz.
Wow. Wow.
I saw you at a party recently.
No.
Yeah, I did. I did. And I
did.
remember.
I saw you too.
Thank you. I was glad you saw me.
You're hard to miss.
I'm hard to miss.
Yeah.
I kind of stand out, don't I?
Stand up. You
Quite
stand up.
But I just was in a silly mood, and it was fantastic because I walked up to you and I said, I think I'm the new Harrison Ford. And you gave me that great look. And you said, fuck you, I'm Harrison Ford. And I said, well, you've been Harrison Ford for a long time, but there's time for a new one, and it's me. And you said, okay, you can have it. And I thought that was a verbal agreement that maybe I take over.
Oh, what a waste.
What are you talking about? I have the gravitas.
Oh,
I have the
no.
bearing.
What will you do with it?
I would try to, keep the different franchises going.
Oh, no.
Why?
You as Han Solo?
Yeah.
No.
Let's stop this right now.
Yeah.
Where was this party? Where was this alleged party?
This was a party, alleged party. You were there. This is a party that was a lot of the Shrinking Gang was there, and which, by the way, you are hilarious on that show. That's a fantastic part, and you play it beautifully. And we had a nice time at that party. A bunch of the Shrinking cast was there, and
I remember it now clearly. Clearly,
you were there.
You were there,
and I think you were having maybe a tequila, and I was having
maybe
a little bit of
orange juice.
Okay, or it was orange juice. They're very easy to mistake orange juice for tequila in a shot glass. But anyway, I thought we had a real moment there. I thought that you enjoyed my company, and I hate to make this all about me when you've had this incredibly storied career.
I know where you live, and it's not very far from where I live.
Uh-huh.
You could walk over to my house anytime.
Is that true?
No, because
I could walk to your house, but would I get in if the doorbell rang?
No, you would walk back. But at least you'd make an effort.
I'd make an effort.
And if you really wanted me to notice the roundness of this, if you really wanted me to be your friend, but you didn't.
And it's over now. I had my chance.
No, I think this is your chance. I think you can still redeem yourself.
Oh.
Well, how's it going so far?
No, I have friends like you.
Okay.
I really, I mean,
you're circus people? What?
No,
You have no friends like me.
I've always liked you. I liked you. That's why I did your show.
Many times.
Many times.
Yeah.
I did it like, twice?
Oh, no.
4 or 5 times.
You did my show 9 times. You did my show. You have.
And you
right here.
Write my name.
9 times.
Really?
Did show 9 times. Yeah. Yeah.
What?
You did it 9 times. And you were unfailingly very funny every time.
Yeah.
And one of my favorite things you ever did was we have this person who our fans know very well named Jordan Schlansky, who's a Star Wars obsessive. And he had built a Millennium Falcon out of Legos. And it took him 9 months to build this thing.
Yeah.
And he brought it out and gave a long speech to you about the meaning of his Millennium Falcon.
One of the pieces of memorabilia in my collection, in fact, the flagship piece, is a Lego Millennium Falcon that I put together in 2010. They're selling for about $5,000 now, and it took about 60 man-hours to create. And I display it with pride, but it would really mean the world to me if Harrison could sign it.
Is that okay, Harrison? Wow.
Sure.
Thank you guys so much.
Thank you. Wow.
Now, it's very delicate.
A long time.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
So I have a sharp...
That's bad.
And handed it to you. And you threw it up over your head. and it landed on the floor and shattered in a million pieces. And it was the greatest day of my life.
And then he picked up a piece and then signed it.
And you signed it for him. And it was one of the greatest things I've ever seen in my life. And by the way, it's a clip online that people adore. They just adore it. It was just a magical moment. And I thank you for that.
Well, those of you at home who don't know how these things work,
Mm-hmm.
let me point out that this was a scripted bit.
Yes, it was.
He didn't build the damn thing. Somebody else.
Okay.
In the prop department.
This is why.
Built the damn thing over probably took him 3 weeks. He probably had to take it home and ask his kid to help him put it together.
Yeah.
And then you built this whole shtick around it, and you made suggested that it would be funny.
Yes.
If I destroyed it.
Yeah. Right. I will make it clear. And first of all, this is why you've never.
And you were right.
It was funny.
Yeah. Cruel.
I'm cruel.
But funny.
I'd like to point out that you'd be terrible working with a magician. Because the magician would come out and do a trick where he saws the lady in half and then puts her back together again. And just as the crowd is applauding, Harrison Ford walks out and says, "Excuse me, I'd like to point out that this was all a sad sham. This woman secreted herself into the first half of the box, and those legs are fake." I have picture you as a terrible, terrible magician's assistant. But yes, you just exposed my little trick that delighted millions.
And you've just explained to me why people never do imitations of me.
I was just trying to get my voice into a male register. That's all I was trying to do. All I was trying to do.
You tried.
I tried. The only way I can sound like a man is to get down here. And then I'm either Nixon or Harrison Ford. And I am neither one. This morning, when you were coming here, did you have a second of thinking, what? I'm going to do what? Conan O'Brien has a tiny radio show in a little room? Was there a point where you did a 180 and started headed home?
No, I didn't. I was curious.
Mm-hmm.
I was curious about it. But then I got here and I see this is a really kind of a big deal.
Yeah.
I mean, this shit's not free.
No. No, this is a state-of-the-art studio designed here by Eduardo.
Really?
Nice,
man. Thank you.
Yeah. A beautiful building that we have, a large complex. We do many.
And there are like probably there's 6 people here.
Outside. Yeah.
Outside, there's another 20 people.
Yeah.
What do they do?
Well, first of all, a lot of them are here because you're here. Yeah. And I hate to throw people under the bus, but when Nick Kroll rolls in, they're not here. I'm sorry, Nick, but you're going to take a bullet for this one.
Yeah.
Who's Nick Kroll?
Exactly.
Is he like Jerry Tchaikovsky?
He's my Jerry Tchaikovsky. He's a very funny, brilliant comic and actor. And
Nick Kroll.
Yeah, I threw him under the bus for no reason other than his name came to mind, and I thought, I'm friendly enough with him that I can do this in this moment. Mm-hmm. So that was undeserved. And Nick, my apologies, but you got a shout out. I'm talking here with Harrison Ford.
Hey.
And also,
Let me say his name again.
Yeah.
Nick Kroll.
Yes. There you go. Now, see, all is forgiven. He's just thrilled.
Yeah.
He's thrilled now. Yeah, but no, we do have, this is a big operation, and many, many, many people will hear this. Yeah. And they'll say, Conan does interrupt too often. Mm-hmm. And he should shut up, and he should let Harrison talk.
Nah. Should let these other people talk a little bit. Because they've got microphones in front of them.
Yeah.
You have not said one fucking word.
Yeah.
Can I say something?
You know, it's your last day at work, so why not? Go for it.
Well, I would just like to say that I dressed up a little bit today out of, because I'm a huge fan. And every single person in the office has commented, oh, you dressed up, you look nice. So do I just normally look terrible? I just put on a button down. I'm sorry to bring this
He
interview
used the
down.
opportunity to ask a question about himself.
I know.
Are you crazy?
You finally got the mic.
No, I'm sorry.
You're the
Jesus.
biggest. You're the biggest next to
Shut
Matt.
the fuck up.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Harrison. I'm sorry.
You
What are we
spent your
doing?
one bullet on that?
You missed
Who
your
is
guess.
this guy?
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's why I don't let him have the microphone.
Yes, sorry.
So anyway, what do you think about what I'm wearing, Harrison? Do you like it? Is it nice?
I'm sorry.
Jesus. We're wearing almost the same thing.
See, we're almost matching.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sorry.
But I didn't bring it up. I didn't think we'd take some of Conan's valuable time to talk about what you and I are wearing.
I have to say, this is
Humiliating.
this is humiliating. This is humiliating for me. It was humiliating for you the minute you walked through that door.
Nah,
You-
come on.
You are a colossus.
You know, I'm just
a colossus.
yeah.
And then the minute you walked in here, it was all diminished.
Yeah.
Your career's through, Harrison. It's over.
Okay.
I've just been told that Shrinking no longer wants you.
Yep.
They're getting a new Indiana Jones.
Oh my god.
Yeah, been replaced. Nick Kroll will take over that role. What are you doing?
He's removing the belly button.
You're removing. That's a little mark that keeps you on the belly button there, so that your lighting is just perfect, and you removed it. You're a carpenter. Do you like our table? What do you think?
Yeah, it's nice. Everything is nice here.
It's nice. Yeah, we did a really
It's
good
very
job.
tasteful and nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what do you say? You, me, maybe we start hanging out a little more regularly.
Well, I thought we had this daily podcast deal. Like,
He was
don't ruin
clearly
this.
kidding. No, that's not.
I don't
happening.
think
he'll
he
never
will.
see you again. The
No.
door. It's over for you.
We're
It's really over
no,
for Blake.
we're going to
movies?
Chipotle after.
We're going to Chipotle. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I don't have a lot of time left. I'm 80.
You look fantastic.
Unbelievable.
By the way.
Well,
Unbelievable.
Yeah. So you can be my friend.
Mhm.
What would we do together?
You and I.
Yeah.
I see us getting a meal.
We could get
and
a
then
meal.
We
Yeah.
get a meal. Probably
Should
we both
take
live
the
in.
girls?
I think
Our
we should.
wives.
I think we should take. I
Can't
think,
say girls.
no, I can't do that. I think we take the ladies. I
Yeah.
take my wife. You take your wife. We
Mhm.
go to a nice place. We get and then you and I take a little stroll afterwards. We lose the ladies. You and I walk along the ocean in Santa Monica. We look at the moon for a little while, the way fellas do.
Oh.
And it's a nice way to digest. And
I'm digesting it right now.
people will say,
Yeah.
there's Harrison Ford.
And Conan
Who's that
O'Brien.
tall lady with him?
He's taking a new lover.
Why is he out on the town with that very strange tall woman?
And why are our wives
Why are they not included?
yeah,
Well, why are they letting it happen?
yeah. They're better than that.
Yes, they are. We both married up. Harrison, I want to say in all sincerity, and you do not.
This is it, huh?
You're not someone who encourages, sincerity, so much foolishness and laughing. But I'm not kidding when I say that people turned up today who I haven't seen in a long time.
Like me.
Yes,
Like
exactly.
me.
Just to watch you walk through the door, and you mean the absolute world to people. And you should have been in this room last week when it was confirmed that you were coming on the podcast. I believe Matt openly wept. Blade jumped out a window.
Yeah.
Sona took an edible, but she does anyway.
Yeah, I do that regularly anyway.
Yeah, she's pretty high.
Although I am excited you're here. But I just
she's
did what
a
I normally
major.
Yeah.
She's got a problem.
do. Okay, not that bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, we all have an edible from time to time.
You don't do that.
No, I don't.
Yeah.
I wish I did. I think it'd be good for me. But my point, Harrison, and I eventually do get to my point, my listeners will tell you that, is that it was an absolute joy having you here. And I will say again, you're one of my favorite funny people. You are so funny in an original, dry way, and you're just the whole way you come across. I've always loved having him on the show, always. And I love now, too, that in Shrinking, people get to see you be so hilariously funny. Nope, wasn't written down. That was that was all genuine.
No, that's 10 times now. I've done it.
Oh, yeah.
I've done you 10 times.
Ah.
I've done you 10 times.
Yeah, you are done.
That's it? 10?
Nah, just for me.
If this was... Hey, if this were it, I would be quite happy. I would be quite happy with that. Seriously, it's...
it was fun for me, too.
You know what? It's an honor to know you and a blast. And God, you make me laugh. So thank you very much for doing this. And I'll be by in about 48 hours.
I'm counting on it.
No, you'll be there waiting.
To turn you away.
To turn me away. Personally turn me away. It's been a while since in the old days they would throw a guy out of a bar by grabbing the back of his shirt and his belt and throw him out. That is how Harrison is going to throw me off of his property.
What a way to go.
Man, no, nothing like that. You're a big guy. I'm an old man. That would never happen.
You could beat the shit out of me.
Yeah.
No.
Trust me.
Yeah.
I say we never do this, but round of applause for Harrison Ford. Thank you, sir.
Oh,
Seriously.
thank you.
Yeah. That's all I got.
That's it?
You're free to go.
Okay.
I hope you enjoyed yourself.
Right.
I don't know why you're crying.
I'm happy.
Oh, good.
I'm glad I came. Thank you.
Thank you for being here.
And you got a friend.
Thank you. That's so nice. Thank you very much. That means a lot to me. Yeah. Thank you.
What about us?
Yeah.
Don't push it.
No.
No. I think that's a smart choice.
Yeah.
Honestly, I respect that.
Hey there. Welcome to Conan O'Brien Needs a Friend. We have a very special episode today. Big, massive star. I'd say maybe one of the biggest, one of the most iconic faces of the last easily 50 years of film, Harrison Ford. And he was on the podcast, and there was some concern because everyone's a Harrison Ford fan, everybody. But Gourley takes it to this other level. I think the words creepy come to mind. You idolize the man, and I was worried that you wouldn't behave yourself, Matt, or you might soil yourself or embarrass yourself in some way. And I want to applaud you because I thought you handled yourself with aplomb in this.
Yeah, we talked about this on an earlier episode, and I think everything went really well, so much so that I think it's safe to say that he and I are friends.
Well, I'd like to see you try and cash that check. It would be fun to watch you escorted off the Ford estate by nine robotic security guards,
stormtroopers.
Yeah, exactly. I would pay anything to see you tossed out of his house, like a drunk in an old movie gets tossed out of a bar, and they just grab you by the pants and throw you out.
I don't know why we can't just leave it as fact. We don't need to test it. It just is. He and I are buddies.
Did you guys exchange numbers?
No, but we didn't need to because I think we're beyond that.
How are you? How
No.
can you be beyond? That's
you're
a
not
big part of friendship.
Yeah, you're not beyond it.
Well, you don't need to call someone when you're always hanging out. You know what I mean?
Oh, I see. You don't need his number because you'll always be right next to each other.
Yeah. That hasn't started yet, but I'm assuming it's any day now.
Any day now, there's going to be a knock at your door, and you're going to open it, and he's going to be there as Indiana Jones. And
he will have landed a plane on my roof.
He's going to whip you to death.
I'll take it. What a way to go.
You'd be happy to go out that way, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
No, I thought you did. I thought you were very good. You were very professional. You are. I give you a hard time, but you are at your core a pro. And I thought you were. You are. You're a professional. You handle yourself well. Sona, you are not a professional.
Okay.
But I
was going to just ask you about your take on me, but okay. I should have just guessed.
Well, would you say you're a lot of things, a lot of great things? Would you say you're a professional?
First of all, I mean,
Would you?
Harrison Ford came in. Excuse you. He came in and I was very, very professional. A lot of times when you're around serious people, I am a very professional person. So, yeah, I do think that I was being professional. And I think that it's not like I'm walking in, like, you know, puffing on a joint and eating Cheetos and being like, yo, Harry, what's up? I didn't do that.
Wow.
I think he would have appreciated that.
Yeah. First of all, I think he would have been fine with that, especially if you didn't bogart that joint. But I think that, you set a pretty low bar for yourself. You said, as long as I don't walk in eating Cheetos and smoking a massive blunt, then I'm a professional. So
I will say, I think that day you did actually come in from the kitchen with a snack bag of something like little Cheetos or something.
Yeah, you did.
But that's what I do every day when we record. So
Right.
that's not But I think that I was being a professional. I think everybody was on their best behavior. We just wanted Harrison Ford to think we were cool.
Can I say I was not on my best behavior? I was not well behaved. I said I wasn't even sure he was in the Star Wars films because he doesn't really.
That's right.
You'll
pop.
hear that. I say, you got to admit, you don't really pop in those movies. I'm surprised he didn't come across the table.
No, you're the problem here.
You know
not
what's so
me.
fun? You know what's so funny? I came in, as I do often, hot. I come in, and trying to give you guys a hard time. And while I was talking to you, realized I am the one who's unprofessional. I am the problem. And I'm saying this like it's a therapy session, and I just realized that for the first time. But no, that's a breakthrough for me. I am the problem.
You're also saying it like we haven't realized that from day one.
I don't care what you guys realize. I'm having my own breakthrough. This is about me. I'm the patient.
But I've said this many times that the fish rots from the head, and you're the head of this fish.
So I'm a rotting fish head.
What's the head rots, the rest of the thing rots.
No, we all know.
Rot first.
Sona, we know how it works. You don't need to break this down.
I just wanted to explain it. I'm sorry. Yeah,
I'm still not clear, Sona. If you could really.
So the fish rots from the head. That means Conan is the head of the fish.
What kind of fish?
He starts to
what is
rot.
it? Is it a freshwater fish or is it a saltwater fish?
It's I think it's a saltwater fish.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Why? Does that make a difference? Do you know
we're-
a lot about fishing? You fish?
Well, you know me. I'm a guy that likes to get out on the sea. I like that air in my face. I come from a long line of fishermen, and
He's a microbiologist. Okay.
my father's a microbiologist, but before that, he was a Groton fisherman. He wore a big yellow Groton fisherman's outfit. And then he was so bad at it, they said, I think you need to go get a microscope. Because the only fish you're catching are so tiny we can't even see them. So that's how he did it. All right. Well, let's just say I admit I am the weak link in this chain today, but man, we had a really good time. So let's get to it. My guest today, of course, one of the biggest actors of all time, appearing in over 70 movies over the last 50 years, including Star Wars, Indiana Jones, The Fugitive, Blade Runner. Good God, it's ridiculous.
It's my buddy.
It's ridiculous. Yeah, that's your pal, and so many more. Now you can see him. Now you can see him in Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. We are thrilled he's with us today. Harrison Ford.
Hi, my name is Harrison Ford, and I feel confused about being Conan O'Brien's friend.
Now listen, you and I
we talked about this a long time ago.
We did,
and then a lot of time has passed. You've made no effort whatsoever, and now you show up out of the blue, and you want me to be your friend.
Yes, I do. And listen,
what can you say on a podcast?
You can say anything you want.
You like.
Anything you like.
Well, fuck you.
Already my favorite.
Clearly, Harrison, you've read the room, and you understand that there's a lot of animosity towards me, and that you will do quite well if you shit on me throughout this process.
Thank you for confirming my instincts.
The first thing you did when you came in here is say, I just want my parking validated. And that seems to be your chief concern, is that we validate your parking. When, maybe I'm going out on a limb here, this could be the biggest hour of your career. It's possible. It's possible that this podcast recording will outshine any of your other work.
If he gets a parking validation.
Yeah.
Well, don't worry about the car. I'll walk home.
You will walk home rather
On
than
air.
suffer the
On air.
Yeah. Can we record you for the whole walk home?
Oh, yeah, sure.
Oh, thank you. I want to say something to you, which is that I have, you came on my show many, many times on the late night show. And over the years, people would say, who's one of your favorite guests? And I would say Harrison Ford, because he's so goddamn funny. You would come on the show. Have you seen these appearances?
Of course I have, yeah.
You are so hilariously funny, and you tossed me around like a rag doll verbally on these shows. And they're some of my favorite segments of all time. You are a hilarious man, and I've always loved being around you.
You guys wrote some great stuff for, I remember, I don't remember any of it, to tell you the truth. But
Do you
I
know who
remember-
I am at this moment? Conan
O'Brien.
Yes.
It's kind of cool when you say it that way.
You know what? It's only
do
cool
it.
when you say it. It's the only time it's ever been cool.
Do it again.
Conan
O'Brien.
Yes.
Wow, it's like jazz.
Wow.
Yeah. It's fantastic.
Yeah,
Could
we're
I-
jazz. We're jazz.
We're jazz.
Yeah.
We all pick up on each other.
He's jazz. You're
He's jazz?
just like
He's,
carousel
he's
music.
saying you're jazz.
I'm
Yeah.
jazz.
And I am, Circus Calliope,
Yeah.
I think. Something kind of
I'm
that
jazz.
that a chimp would dance to.
And you're Chaz. Chaz.
Okay, I'm sure. All right, I'm
What
going to go
kind
with
of a
Chaz.
name is Conan? Is it...
How dare you? Conan is an old Gaelic name that my parents gave me. They thought, we'll call him
an
Conan.
old Gaelic boy?
I come from...
Do you speak Gaelic?
I do not. I do not speak Gaelic. In fact, I don't think anybody really speaks Gaelic. I think it's a made-up... have you heard Gaelic? It sounds like a bunch of... Someone threw some chairs down the back stairs. It's just a lot of... consonants. There's not a vowel in there, and I think it's just to confuse people about when it's time to go to the pub. So I don't speak Gaelic, but I do have a very Irish name. And you know what fascinated me to learn?
I'm part Irish.
You are part Irish,
Yeah.
Irish, German, and mother Jewish.
What's the German part?
I thought you were German Irish. I thought your dad was German Irish.
Is there such a thing as German Irish?
Sure. Yeah. German people were allowed to marry Irish people? Sure.
But you don't carry a designation by marrying somebody a national. That's
Yeah, sure you do. Yeah.
No,
There are Irish Italians.
okay.
Of course.
My father was Irish.
Right. Okay.
No German.
No German.
No.
Okay. I refer you to this
My
piece of paper
mother-
right here that says born and raised in Chicago to an Irish/German father.
Well, if that's the quality of your research. And I imagine it is, because right there it says Harrison Ford, and then you had to write down Han Solo.
Yeah, I did.
You can't fucking remember that?
No, I can't. I can't remember Han Solo.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I wrote down because I heard that you were in some of the Star Wars films. And this was news to me because I've seen those films and I don't exactly think you pop.
Well,
I didn't recognize, I'm sorry.
Whoa.
But I mean, I remember Chewbacca. I remember the bad guy with the black helmet.
Well,
And then there's some people.
how come you're not still on television?
I think it's quite obvious why I'm not still on television.
Yeah.
I've always thought you have one of the coolest names of any leading man, Harrison
Yeah.
Ford. You cannot beat that name. Yet you were asked, or it was suggested early in your career, that you change your name.
True.
Who the fuck wanted you to change from Harrison Ford?
Jerry Dukovsky.
Oh.
Well, physician,
Yeah, I
heal
know.
thyself.
He just had a hatred for his own name.
Yeah.
Is that true? So he wanted you to change your name.
Yeah.
You said Harrison Ford, and he went, no, we can do better.
Yeah, he said that's too pretentious a name for a young man. He was about 4 years older than me. He always called me boy. Oh, boy.
So what did you come up with an alternate name?
Yeah. Jerry Tchaikovsky.
Well, okay. I don't think it was very original. You
No,
could
I
have
didn't.
thought.
I did come back the next day. I was not only supposed to come back with a name, but I was supposed to be there earlier than my naming conference to get a haircut, and I'd been given a picture of Elvis Presley to take with me to the studio barber.
They told you, get this haircut?
Get this haircut and come back with a name. I said, okay. I didn't get the haircut. And I said, my new name is Kurt Affair.
Incredible.
Yeah.
That's a great name.
Yeah. Yeah.
Kurt Affair.
Yeah. It's Irish German name.
Oh my god.
So obviously that didn't stick.
No,
you didn't,
nothing did.
Nothing did for a while.
No, they threw me. They let me go after a year and a half of a 7-year contract.
Wow.
After which I would be making $1,200 a week.
Really?
After 7 years.
So this is a different time in show business that kind of fascinates
this is
me.
Indentured servitude.
It really was. But you look at, I'm thinking now about the television. You come to Hollywood in 1964, and the big way to get a job, if you're lucky, is every show on television is a Western, a TV Western, pretty much. And you
Love American Style.
You did Love American Style?
Oh, yeah, man. I played a hippie.
Oh, yeah?
A real stretch.
It's so funny because I have a brother, Neil, who's obsessed with TV of the 60s and early 70s. And so I told him today when I'm on the, I told him when I was on.
That's my watch.
Is it your watch?
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's very rude.
It's time for you to go.
Yeah. But you just pushed the alarm on your watch so you could leave this interview now and not look rude. That's what happened.
I don't mind looking rude.
Oh, that's true. That's true. You're right. I just did misread the situation terribly. Yeah. But so I'm driving into work today, and I'm talking to my brother, and I said, yeah, I'm going in and I talked to Harrison Ford. He said, that's so cool. Ask him about that Gunsmoke.
Yeah.
And I said, what? No one asks Harrison Ford about his episode of Gunsmoke. He's like, oh, yeah, I know. Him and these other guys take over the town, and you kill a guy in a bar and in a poker game, and he knew it. And then, of course, I looked it up online, and there's a picture of you looking real nasty on Gunsmoke.
Yeah, I did Gunsmoke in the Virginian, but I don't remember that.
Yeah.
I played the same part twice on FBI in one season, and they didn't even realize I was the same guy.
So you just came back, and they were like, we had a great time with Kurt Affair. What's your name?
Yeah. No, I always played, I seemed to get these, if there were two criminal brothers,
yeah,
I was the one that was sort of duped by my smarter older brother.
Right.
How old is your brother?
He's 3 years older than me, or 2.5 years. Yeah.
See?
Yeah, exactly. He tricked me into talking to you, and he'll be delighted because he'll listen to this and he'll say, "You got Harrison Ford to talk about Gunsmoke." But it is interesting to me, like at that whole period, because Clint Eastwood gets started in television westerns. Burt Reynolds. Yeah. All these sort of iconic actors, Steve McQueen, all these guys had to do it's like you had to do your time on a television Western before you could move on to other things. Is that a fair assessment of that period?
Well, no, not really.
Oh, for Christ's sake.
You're wrong.
Why can't you give me that? Why can't I have that?
You're
Why
wrong.
can't you just say, sure, yeah, fine, Conan, let's move on. Instead, it's no, you're wrong.
You're wrong. Your brother's wrong.
Well, okay, I'm okay with him.
Your name's wrong.
Okay, everything's wrong. My name's wrong?
No, I played the same kind of character over and over again, and nobody noticed. So I don't think I was not on the Clint Eastwood track.
Right.
In television, I was on here today and gone tomorrow.
Right.
Track.
Right. And that's why you're making your living primarily as a carpenter while you're doing these other parts. I'll get a part, and I'm lucky to get this sort of quasi background role in these little parts. And I think
still the case.
Yeah, you're hurting. It hasn't gone well for you. I think we can agree on that.
Look, show business has been very, very good to me.
Mm-hmm. Yes, it has. Yeah, I think you've been good to show business.
Well,
I do. I mean, you're very...
I was very lucky. I mean, for years, I did the same old thing. I went from Columbia Pictures to a contract at Universal for $250 a week. That lasted a year and a half. I always could get out of these things just by being a dick.
Really? Is that how you would get out of it, was just being kind of unpleasant?
Well, in Columbia's case, Jerry Tarkovsky, write it down, folks, called me into his office and told me that Mike Frankovich, who was the head of the studio, was in Europe and he'd forgotten to sign my contract when he left. But he was going to suggest to Mike Frankovich, Jerry Tarkovsky, was going to suggest that they drop me anyway because I had no future in the business.
I appreciate and notice that you know their names cold. You have already forgotten mine. But
no, I haven't.
And what is it, please?
It's Conan O'Brien.
Oh my God. I want that on that's my outgoing message for the rest of time. I'll get a lot of hangups, but I love that when you're in that early part of your career, and this is true of all of us, and someone doesn't see it or someone wrongs you in some way or disrespects you, you never forget that name.
But you're not letting me finish any story.
Finally.
Fucking interrupt me. Every time I get to that punchline, you're there to wander it. Jerry Tarkovsky said to me that Mike Frankovich hadn't signed my contract, so and he was going to perhaps I got this far before. He was going to suggest that they drop me.
Mm-hmm.
He said that he would give me 2 weeks' pay till Mike Frankovich came back, because he knew that my wife was pregnant. My wife at the time was pregnant, and I needed the money. I said, no, that's fine. Goodbye. And I was out. That was it.
Why not just take the $250?
It was $150. 2 weeks would have been $300. And that was stupid, wasn't it?
Yeah. Your wife's expecting a child?
Yeah.
That money went a long way back then.
Shit.
What were you doing?
Think about how much money you have now if you kept that.
Exactly. That money invested wisely then
I
would
could
be
be
worth...
making $1,200 a week. Yeah.
It says here in my research that that's what you're getting for the latest Indiana Jones film. I have a very clear memory of the first time I encountered you, which is you had not been on the show yet, and you're easily one of my favorite Hollywood stars, and I'm going to say of all time. And my show is struggling along for a couple of years, and we're just sort of starting to catch. And I could never get a star of Harrison Ford's caliber on the program. That would be unimaginable. I'm almost done. And that exhale was like the last breath of a 1,000-year-old man.
No, I'm just remembering that you never fucking asked me.
We did ask you!
You did not!
Don't shout at me on my podcast. It's rude.
I'm not shouting.
I'm in Washington, D.C. for the White House Correspondents' Dinner, and I'm going to be up there on the dais with Clinton. I've never met Harrison Ford, and I'm on an elevator door that's closing, and all I'm nervous about, how's my set going to go on this thing? elevator doors are closing, and I've talked about this on the show years ago. Elevator doors closing when I hear a voice say, "Hold the elevator." And I'm thinking, I really got to get upstairs. The door's 2/3 closed. So I don't really try to hit the button when the iconic face of Harrison Ford appears in between the two closing doors and looks right at me, and the door's shut. And I, all the way up to my room, which is on the 8th floor, shit myself the whole way up.
That's what propelled the elevator up.
Yeah, the elevator was not functioning, but it was propelled purely by my, it was a horrifying moment for me. And I apologize again. We recreated the moment on the air. You can see it online where I asked you to, let's recreate the moment, and you gave this amazing death stare into the camera, and we had 2 elevator doors close on it, and I felt the same trauma all over again.
That's how he remembers your name, like Jerry Tarkovsky.
I'm sorry, Harrison. I could have probably, it was a horrible moment for me, and I'm glad that you've come here.
I come here as a friend.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
So it's all past. You're not gonna.
No,
you bear no ill will.
No. You're no Jerry Tarkovsky.
That's the nicest thing anybody's ever said to me.
So here's the deal. The last time I saw Jerry Tarkovsky was
Jesus, you are obsessed.
Listen, in that office on Gower.
Business is
15 years later, I'm sitting in the executive dining room at the executive dining room at Warner Brothers. And a waiter came over to me in the middle of my meal and on a little tray, and there was a little white card on it. I'd never seen that before, and he proffered the tray. Mm-hmm. I picked up the card. It said, Jerry Tarkovsky, Vice President, blah, 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 whatever. I looked at it, and I looked around the room, and everybody looked like Jerry Tarkovsky. And I turned it over, and on the back, handwritten, was a little note that said, I missed my guess.
Wow.
He was guessing.
Yeah. But I give people credit for, right? Yeah. For acknowledging. He acknowledged that
I thought so too.
Yeah. I give people a lot of credit when someone comes up and says, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Like you coming here today to apologize for.
Well, Jerry Tarkovsky didn't quite say he was sorry.
Oh.
He just said that he made a bad bet.
That's not good enough.
By the time I leave here, you will be sorry.
I'm sorry now.
Do these people get to talk at all?
I try to discourage it.
I see. It's working.
The best I can.
Yeah.
So you weigh in because you're having the time of your life.
I am really into this Jerry Tarkovsky character arc because I do think that there's a nice end to it. It is.
It's
Where
over.
is he now?
Exactly.
Okay.
Let's bring him in.
Yeah, he's here.
Well, we have a surprise for you.
Do you have a phone-in number that we could?
No, he is here in person. We arranged all of this. He now cleans pools in Redondo.
Oh, no.
And he's here to say again that he missed his bet.
Yeah. Oh,
so there you
man.
go. Oh, good. He's taking a drink of water. I'm going to get a question in. So, oh my God, he's not swallowing. Harrison. This behavior is not worthy of you. A man of your stature, all you've achieved, this is not worthy of you.
We should also mention that he's been eating those little cuties, those little orange slices this whole
the
time.
The smallest orange I've ever seen. Make a tiny mini nectarine.
Yeah.
A tangelo, if you will. And you've been eating it section by section.
Little cuties, they're
Yeah.
called.
Yeah.
That's nice.
That's what I do.
Are you glad he finally piped up?
Yeah. Yeah. Isn't this worth it?
Incredible comment about little cuties.
Great.
Think if we didn't have that, think what would we do? What would we do?
Trying to paint a picture for the listener.
I think that's very good. If only there were cameras here.
Oh.
Yeah.
Why are there cameras here?
This is just for tax purposes. I need to be able to show that we made a podcast.
Okay.
And then we get to write it off because I monetize everything. I now own your likeness because you've been on the podcast. And you need to buy it back from me for the new Indiana Jones film to come out. That's how smart I am. That's what makes me different from other people in this business. I'm a real whiz, Harrison. A real whiz.
Wow. Wow.
I saw you at a party recently.
No.
Yeah, I did. I did. And I remember.
I saw you too.
Thank you. I was glad you saw me.
You're hard to miss.
I'm hard to miss.
Yeah.
I kind of stand out, don't I?
Stand up. You
Quite
stand up.
But I just was in a silly mood, and it was fantastic because I walked up to you and I said, I think I'm the new Harrison Ford. And you gave me that great look. And you said, fuck you, I'm Harrison Ford. And I said, well, you've been Harrison Ford for a long time, but there's time for a new one, and it's me. And you said, okay, you can have it. And I thought that was a verbal agreement that maybe I take over.
Oh, what a waste.
What are you talking about? I have the gravitas.
Oh,
I have the
no.
bearing.
What will you do with it?
I would try to, keep the different franchises going.
Oh, no.
Why?
You as Han Solo?
Yeah.
No.
Let's stop this right now.
Yeah.
Where was this party? Where was this alleged party?
This was a party, alleged party. You were there. This is a party that was a lot of the Shrinking Gang was there, and which, by the way, you are hilarious on that show. That's a fantastic part, and you play it beautifully. And we had a nice time at that party. A bunch of the Shrinking cast was there, and
I remember it now clearly. Clearly,
you were there.
You were there.
And I think you were having maybe a tequila, and I was having
maybe
a little bit of
orange juice.
Okay, or it was orange juice. They're very easy to mistake orange juice for tequila in a shot glass. But anyway, I thought we had a real moment there. I thought that you enjoyed my company. And I hate to make this all about me when you've had this incredibly storied career.
I know where you live, and it's not very far from where I live.
Uh-huh.
You could walk over to my house anytime.
Is that true?
No, because
I could walk to your house, but would I get in? If the doorbell rang?
No, you would walk back. But at least you'd make an effort.
I'd make an effort.
And if you really wanted me to notice the roundness of this, if you really wanted me to be your friend, but you didn't.
And it's over now. I had my chance.
No, I think this is your chance. I think you can still redeem yourself.
Oh. Well, how's it going so far?
No, I have friends like you.
Okay.
I really, I mean,
you're circus people? What?
No,
You have no friends like me.
I've always liked you. I liked you. That's why I did your show.
Many times.
Many times.
Yeah.
I did it like, twice?
Oh, no.
4 or 5 times.
You did my show 9 times. You did my show. You have.
And you
right here.
Write my name.
9 times.
Really?
Did show 9 times. Yeah. Yeah.
What?
You did it 9 times. And you were unfailingly very funny every time.
Yeah.
And one of my favorite things you ever did was we have this person who our fans know very well named Jordan Schlansky, who's a Star Wars obsessive, and he had built a Millennium Falcon out of Legos, and it took him 9 months to build this thing.
Yeah.
And he brought it out and gave a long speech to you about the meaning of his Millennium Falcon.
One of the pieces of memorabilia in my collection, in fact, the flagship piece, is a Lego Millennium Falcon that I put together in 2010. They're selling for about $5,000 now, and it took about 60 man-hours to create. And I display it with pride, but it would really mean the world to me if Harrison could sign it.
Is that okay, Harrison? Wow.
Sure.
Thank you guys so much.
Thank you. Wow.
Now, it's very delicate.
A long time.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
So I have a sharp...
That's bad.
And handed it to you. And you threw it up over your head. And it landed on the floor and shattered in a million pieces. And it was the greatest day of my life.
And then he picked up a piece and then signed it.
And you signed it for him. And it was one of the greatest things I've ever seen in my life. And by the way, it's a clip online that people adore. They just adore it. It was just a magical moment. And I thank you for that.
Well, those of you at home who don't know how these things work, let me point out that this was a scripted bit.
Yes, it was.
He didn't build the damn thing. Somebody else, in the prop department,
this is why
built the damn thing over probably took him 3 weeks. He probably had to take it home and ask his kid to help him put it together.
Yeah.
And then you built this whole shtick around it, and you made suggested that it would be funny.
Yes.
If I destroyed it.
Yeah. Right. I will make it clear. And first of all, this is why you've never.
And you were right.
It was funny.
Yeah. Cruel.
I'm cruel.
But funny.
I'd like to point out that you'd be terrible working with a magician. Because the magician would come out and do a trick where he saws the lady in half and then puts her back together again. And just as the crowd is applauding, Harrison Ford walks out and says, "Excuse me, I'd like to point out that this was all a sad sham. This woman secreted herself into the first half of the box, and those legs are fake." I have picture you as a terrible, terrible magician's assistant. But yes, you just exposed my little trick that delighted millions.
And you've just explained to me why people never do imitations of me.
I was just trying to get my voice into a male register. That's all I was trying to do. All I was trying to do.
You tried.
I tried. The only way I can sound like a man is to get down here. And then I'm either Nixon or Harrison Ford. And I am neither one.
You sound a little like Jerry.
You've got to get this man behind. I know now that you wake up in the middle of the night in a cold sweat yelling this man's name.
Nah.
You won. You won.
No. I haven't. This is the first time I've remembered his name in 15 years. It just came to me.
I have that effect on people.
You
This
do.
is like a good therapy session for you. I'm freeing you of your past demons.
Wow, my wife is going to be so excited. Really?
I saw Conan today. I'm a new man. All of my demons are gone. I think, yes. I think she's going to be quite pleased with this transformation.
Yeah.
I
hope so.
I think she will.
I hope so.
And I cherish.
God, I hope so. I've tried everything else.
This is a total meltdown of some kind, which I'm really enjoying. I am very excited, as is especially my friend Matt, for the upcoming.
He looks
Indiana.
excited.
This is him excited.
Let me tell you how much I can't wait for this.
I in this era now where people are saying, I don't know if I want to go to the theater anymore. The idea of going and seeing a new Indiana Jones movie is absolutely thrilling to me. And
I hope they go to the theaters to see it, if they're going to see it at all. I wish they will. I hope they'll see it in the
will
theater.
make them personally.
Yeah.
Good.
But I can't imagine. I think there's. I think all of them have been spectacular.
Your family are not an audience, you know?
No, exactly. Yes.
At home.
Yeah.
It's not fair to the movie.
Right.
I mean, yeah, you could see it at home if you wanted to, maybe later.
Right.
But give it a chance. Go to a movie theater.
Yeah.
Be in the dark with strange people.
Well, I've done that, and I've done that, and I've gone to a movie. One was slightly more erotic than the other, I'll say. But I can't imagine seeing an Indiana Jones film any other way. I just can't. I think it would be. I would. And the thing is, I know it's going to be an event because I know that my son, who's 17, loves the franchise. He's going to want to go. I mean, just it's going to be a thing where we can all go as a family. If they allow me, I get to go too. And I want to see it with an audience. I want to see it with people.
I've got tickets.
Did you get them already?
Tickets, yeah.
Yeah.
They're on sale.
Did you pay for them? Because maybe Harrison.
How much does a movie cost these days?
Well, there's like those two levels, a regular theater, and then they have those lie-down ones where you can get food and take a nap. You know,
No. Okay, Matt.
That's a nice thing to say to Harrison Ford. I bought a napping seat to go see your movie. What the fuck are you doing?
What the fuck,
I'm
Matt?
not saying during his movie.
Right.
Of course not. I've been waiting for this for years, and those are like $20, $25
to lay down and have a nap.
Yeah.
So you got the special. Well, wait a minute. You say you don't know. When was the last time you bought a ticket and went into a movie theater? Has it been a while? You're scaring me. When you stare at me like that, you frighten me to my core.
No, I don't. But I also don't remember the last. You're right. You're right. I am. I have seen movies on a big screen.
Yes.
You know, in a theater.
Right. Right.
But there was nobody else in the room.
That's how Howard Hughes did it.
That's expensive.
Yeah.
Weren't you just at the Cannes Film Festival? You probably saw some.
Yeah, I saw the new Indiana Jones movie.
That's right. You sat in an audience.
Yeah.
I've seen pictures
That's the last
of you.
time.
That guy's really good.
Yeah.
I got in for free.
I would have loved it if they had stopped you and you had been looking for your ticket at the Cannes premiere of Indiana Jones. Yeah. So you were there. That's.
Yeah.
I know that you've experienced everything one can
10
experience.
days ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everything one can experience in this business at the highest level, but that still has to be exciting.
What part?
Cannes Film Festival. You're going up the big red carpet.
Yeah.
Beautiful wife on your arm. You go inside, a whole crowd of those fancy French people.
Yeah.
And then your movie comes up.
Yeah.
A storied franchise. You know, I don't know. I just have to think that there's be some part of you that would say, yes, this is cool. I'm gonna wait for it.
It was actually a pretty interesting experience.
Yeah.
I haven't been there for a while, but I had been there in the past, but with other even Indiana Jones movies.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, it was a beautiful projection system, great room, lots and lots of people. But they weren't like a real audience.
Right.
I mean, they had tuxedos and beautiful gowns on and stuff like that.
Right.
So it didn't. I want to see it with an ordinary rabble.
Yeah.
You know.
I got an extra ticket.
Yeah, we can all go together.
Yeah.
If you'd like.
4 of us.
Yeah.
If you'd like, we'll all go together. In fact,
When
Eduardo, you're invited as well.
Yeah.
And
Oh, yeah.
This
I don't,
is the- this
Blay,
is the
I don't. I'll
5th.
check your schedule. Yes, no, Blay, you're in.
This is the 5th, right?
Yeah.
Of June.
Yeah, it's June 5th. Yeah.
June 5th. The movie comes out June 30th.
I believe so.
Correct.
Let me check my incorrect.
Yeah.
It says
You
here.
would know.
I already know it's
Yeah,
true.
June
June
30th.
30th. Yeah.
Yeah.
there you go.
Okay, it says it on the ticket, right?
Mhm.
So we wait here.
Mhm.
until-
25 days.
You'll wait here for 25 days.
I like
Yeah.
this.
I'll have food brought in for you
Okay.
We do this show every day.
Yeah.
every day.
We
Yeah.
do now.
Yeah, now we do,
Yeah.
and you're the only guest every
Uh-huh.
day. And
Cool,
so we call it's a special promotional month of Harrison Ford. And it's you every day for an hour.
I promised I wouldn't do this.
What are you doing?
Get excited.
If that's your orgasm,
I know. What is
you're a
that
disgusting
now?
man. What are you?
I'm just tensing up in excitement. You
That's
made
not
it,
what it
you
sounds
made it
like.
disgusting.
That's not what it sounds
You're
like.
filthy minded.
It did sound
I
sexual.
apologize. I apologize for my partner.
No, it did sound sexual.
Thank
though.
you,
It
Sona.
might
Yeah.
have been.
Yeah.
It might have been.
Well, anyway,
Sorry.
glad I brought this creep along.
Oh, thank you.
Mr. Ford.
Do it again.
You make me blush, I declare.
Where did you get
do
that?
declare.
Where did you get that Southern fan?
I do declare.
A man.
You had to be here.
Oh no! Yeah, this is.
Oh no, you got
This is
cameras.
good stuff. It's all. Yeah, you'll see. You'll see. This is all going to turn it around for you. This podcast. This morning, when you were coming here, did you have a second of thinking, "What? I'm going to do what?" Conan O'Brien has a tiny radio show in a little room. Was there a point where you did a 180 and started headed home?
No, I didn't. I was curious.
Mm-hmm.
I was curious about it, but then I got here and I see this is really kind of a big deal.
Yeah.
I mean, this shit's not free.
No, this is this is a state-of-the-art studio designed here by Eduardo.
Really?
Nice,
man. Thank you.
Yeah. A beautiful building that we have, a large complex. We do many
and there are like probably there's 6 people here.
Outside. Yeah.
Outside, there's another 20 people.
Yeah.
What do they do?
Well, first of all, a lot of them are here because you're here. Yeah. And I hate to throw people under the bus, but when Nick Kroll rolls in, they're not here. I'm sorry, Nick, but you're going to take a bullet for this one.
Yeah.
Who's Nick Kroll?
Exactly. Exactly.
Is he like Jerry Tchaikovsky?
He's my Jerry Tchaikovsky. He's a very funny, brilliant comic and actor. And I threw him
Nick Kroll.
Yeah, I threw him under the bus for no reason other than his name came to mind, and I thought I'm friendly enough with him that I can do this in this moment.
Mm-hmm.
So that was undeserved. And Nick, my apologies, but you got a shout out. I'm talking here with Harrison Ford.
Hey.
And also,
Let me say his name again.
Yeah.
Nick Kroll.
Yes. There you go. Now, see, all is forgiven. He's just thrilled.
Yeah.
He's thrilled now. But no, we do have, this is a big operation, and many, many, many people will hear this.
Yeah.
And they'll say, Conan does interrupt too often, and he should shut up, and he should let Harrison talk.
Nah. Should let these other people talk a little bit. Because they've got microphones in front of them.
Yeah.
And you have not said one fucking word.
Can I say something?
You know, it's your last day at work, so why not? Go for it.
Well, I would just like to say that I dressed up a little bit today out of because I'm a huge fan, and every single person in the office has commented, "Oh, you dressed up, you look nice." So do I just normally look terrible? I just put on a button down. I'm sorry to bring this interview
Use
down.
the opportunity to ask a question about himself.
I know.
Are you crazy?
You finally got the mic.
No, I'm sorry.
You're the biggest. You're the biggest. Next to Matt.
Shut the fuck up.
I'm sorry, Harrison. I'm sorry.
You spent your one bullet on that?
You missed
Who
your
is
guess.
this guy?
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's why I don't let him have the microphone.
Yes, sorry.
So anyway, what do you think about what I'm wearing, Harrison? Do you like it? Is it nice? I'm sorry.
Jesus. We're wearing almost the same thing.
See, we're almost matching.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sorry.
But I didn't bring it up. I didn't think we'd take some of Conan's valuable time to talk about what you and I are wearing.
I have to say, this is
humiliating.
This is humiliating. This is humiliating for me. It was humiliating for you the minute you walked through that door.
Nah, come on.
You are a colossus.
You know, I'm just
a colossus.
yeah.
And then the minute you walked in here, it was all diminished.
Yeah.
Your career's through, Harrison. It's over.
Okay.
I've just been told that Shrinking no longer wants you.
Yep.
They're getting a new Indiana Jones.
Oh my god.
Yeah, been replaced. Nick Kroll will take over that role. What are you doing?
He's removing the belly button.
You're
mark.
removing. That's a little mark that keeps you on the belly button there, so that you always see your lighting is just perfect, and you removed it. You're a carpenter. Do you like our table? What do you think?
Yeah, it's nice. Everything is nice here.
It's nice.
Really
Yeah,
is.
we did a
It's
really
very
good job.
tasteful and nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what do you say? You, me, maybe we start hanging out a little more regularly.
Well, I thought we had this daily podcast deal.
He
Like,
was
don't ruin
clearly
this.
kidding. No, that's not.
I don't think
he'll
he
never
will.
see you again. The
No.
door, it's over for you.
We're
It's really over for Clay.
We're going to
movies?
Chipotle after.
We're going to Chipotle. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have a lot of time left. I'm 80.
You look fantastic.
Unbelievable.
By the way.
Well,
Unbelievable.
yeah. So you can be my friend.
Mm-hmm.
What would we do together?
You and I?
Yeah.
I see us getting a meal.
We could get
and
a
then
meal.
We
Yeah.
get a meal. Probably
Should
we
we
both
take
live
the
in.
girls?
I think
Our
we should.
wives.
I think we should take. I
Can't
think,
say girls.
no, I can't do that. I think we take the ladies. I
Yeah.
take my wife. You take your wife. We
Mhm.
go to a nice place. We get and then you and I take a little stroll afterwards. We lose the ladies. You and I walk along the ocean in Santa Monica. We look at the moon for a little while, the way fellas do.
Oh.
And it's a nice way to digest. And
I'm digesting it right now.
people will say,
Yeah.
there's Harrison Ford.
And Conan
Who's that
O'Brien.
tall lady with him?
He's taking a new lover.
Why is he out on the town with that very strange tall woman?
And why are our wives
Why are they not included?
yeah,
Well, why are they letting it happen?
yeah. They're better than that.
Yes, they are. We both married up. Harrison, I want to say in all sincerity, and you do not.
This is it, huh?
You're not someone who encourages, sincerity, so much foolishness and laughing. But I'm not kidding when I say that people turned up today who I haven't seen in a long time.
Like me.
Yes,
Like
exactly.
me.
Just to watch you walk through the door, and you mean the absolute world to people. And you should have been in this room last week when it was confirmed that you were coming on the podcast. I believe Matt openly wept. Blade jumped out a window.
Yeah.
Sona took an edible, but she does anyway.
Yeah, I do that regularly anyway.
Yeah, she's pretty high.
Although I am excited you're here. But I just
she's
did what
a
I normally
major.
Yeah.
She's got a problem.
Okay, not that bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, we all have an edible from time to time.
you don't do that.
No, I don't.
Yeah.
I wish I did. I think it'd be good for me. But my point, Harrison, and I eventually do get to my point, my listeners will tell you that, is that it was an absolute joy having you here. And I will say again, you're one of my favorite funny people. You are so funny in an original, dry way, and you're just the whole way you come across. I've always loved having him on the show, always. And I love now, too, that in Shrinking, people get to see you be so hilariously funny. Nope, wasn't written down. That was all.
No,
that was all genuine.
No, it's 10 times now. I've done.
Oh, yeah.
I've done you 10 times.
I've done you 10 times.
Yeah, you are done.
That's it? 10?
Nah, just for me.
If this was... Hey, if this were it, I would be quite happy. I would be quite happy with that. Seriously, it's...
No, it was fun for me, too.
You know what? It's an honor to know you and a blast. And God, you make me laugh. So thank you very much for doing this. And I'll be by in about 48 hours.
I'm counting on it.
No, you'll be there waiting.
To turn you away.
Turn me away. Personally turn me away. It's been a while since in the old days they would throw a guy out of a bar by grabbing the back of his shirt and his belt and throw him out. That is how Harrison is going to throw me off of his property.
What a way to go.
Man, no, nothing like that. You're a big guy. I'm an old man. It would never happen.
You could beat the shit out of me.
Yeah.
No.
Trust me.
Yeah.
I say we never do this, but round of applause for Harrison Ford. Thank you, sir.
Oh,
Seriously.
thank you.
Yeah. That's all I got.
That's it?
You're free to go.
Okay.
I hope you enjoyed yourself.
Right.
I don't know why you're crying.
I'm happy.
Oh, good.
I'm glad I came. Thank you.
Thank you for being here.
And you got a friend.
Thank you. That's so nice.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. That means a lot to me.
Yeah.
Thank you.
What about us?
Yeah.
Don't push it.
No.
Fair.
I think that's a smart choice.
Yeah.
Honestly, I respect that. Sona, this is big news. You're giving the commencement speech for the Mount San Antonio, informally known as Mount Sac College commencement.
No,
graduation?
I'm not giving the commencement address. It's
Okay.
a 2-minute speech.
Okay.
Wait, I thought you were giving the commencement address.
No, I'm alumna of the year.
Uh-huh.
For
Hey, congratulations. That's
Congratulations.
I don't like the way you said that.
What did
Didn't it? Is that
No,
more? Would
that
you,
was I was congratulating you
Okay.
sincerely.
I
That was
think that
sincere?
was delivered sincerely with the understanding that an insult was to follow.
Yes, thank
yeah,
you.
but later, like in 20 minutes.
Okay, all right. So
Okay.
off mic.
And unrelated to this.
Okay.
No, Sona, I really am honestly proud of you.
Thank
I'm
you.
very proud of you've accomplished a lot, and I was saying a nice thing to you.
That's nice.
I
I'm sorry.
honestly was.
The way you said it was just very. I'm sorry.
Jesus
Thank you.
Christ.
Sorry, but it was. You had a tone.
That's my nasal voice. I can't help it. You're like, you had a tone and your lips were thin and your eyes were beady.
Oh.
Yeah, that's me. I can't help that.
No, but they named me alumna of the year. I went to a community college before I transferred to USC. I'm very proud of my time there. And then they named me alumna of the year. And you did an interview for the video they're going to show at commencement. And I found out recently there's going to be like 12,000 people there.
12,000. That's a big crowd.
Yeah.
That's a big crowd.
I know.
But wait a minute. You're always talking about how you were a speech champion
Yes,
when you
national
were
speech champion. Yes.
Yeah.
National.
You bring that up all the time.
You
bring that up when they pull you over
week.
for a DUI. You're like, now it's national speech champion. All right, you're free to go. Here's some more alcohol. Thank you, officer.
The officer gives me alcohol.
Hair of the dog.
Yeah. We didn't realize you were a national speech champion. Here's much more vodka. Thank you, officer. Well, it's officer, not thofficer, but I still refuse to give you a blood alcohol test. So I think you're going to be fine. Do you know what you're going to talk about?
Yeah, give us
Yeah,
the
I
first
already did
line.
it.
Give us a little preview.
Well, I'm doing it in they built a brand new stadium that we're going to have the graduation
Oh, I thought
in.
thought you were going to sound doing it in an accent.
No. They built this brand new stadium at the school. So my first line is, thanks for building this stadium
that's
for
solid.
me.
That's solid.
good. I like that.
Stupid.
That's great.
It's stupid.
No,
That'll
that's
work.
Good.
But there's not like a lot of jokes. It's not like
Oh, you got to have jokes.
Will you write it for me?
Well,
You've done
oh, wait,
two.
I won't write them for you.
All right.
Because there's a Writers Guild strike.
Yeah.
So I refuse to help you with this.
Well, I thought
And I hope you bomb.
Yeah.
Go WGA.
Yeah, you producer, you
What?
ruthless scab producer.
I thought you couldn't write shows and stuff. You could write a commencement address.
I think I can. It's a union
Wait,
gig.
for reals? It's not union at all. It's me.
No,
it's just a 2-minute speech.
You're the man. You're the man now, dog.
You know what you are? I'm sick of your boot on my throat.
Yeah.
You've written two.
Wait, why don't you get AI to write it, you asshole?
I know I should.
You should get AI to
But
do it.
you've written two of like really well-known commencement addresses that were like longer than 2 minutes. Can I borrow some from your Harvard class day speech, your Dartmouth address?
No, you cannot. But also, how much time did you say you have?
2 minutes.
There's no such thing as a speech that's 2 minutes long.
No, that's. Are you sure they're being square with you? You're not just introducing someone.
No, but there's a 3-minute video, and then there's a 2-minute. I get 5 minutes. I'm just
First
like
of
this
all,
little blip.
Can I say something? They say 2 minutes, but you're going to take more than 2 minutes because there's no such thing as a 2-minute speech.
Oh, well, I wrote it.
That's called ordering a pizza.
Oh, okay.
You know,
not a bad idea.
Yeah, but still, that's
why can't I just take stuff that you wrote?
Well, it won't match.
Okay.
You know,
plagiarism.
Well, but also it just won't match your personal experience. You have such a different background than me, and you have a great story to tell. Coming to this country.
Oh, no. Come on.
A boat that you made out of Brillo pads, sewn together with beeswax that had been dried and turned into twine. You forged a path across a mighty sea. You have a great story to tell. And also, what I think is very cool, and I'm being sincere here, is, you start at this community college and look what you've achieved. I think that's very cool.
It is. And I'm shocked because there's a lot of really impressive alumni that have come out of there. So when they first said I was the alumna of the year, I was like, why?
Who are they? Are there anyone we'd know?
No.
Oh.
I have to be honest with you though. I think it'll be an inspiration for all of them.
Yeah.
To see you, because you do have a lot of fans and you are an impressive person. And I think I'll tell you, I think it's also good for these people to see I think you're still able to connect to young people. I think you're a very youthful person. So it's
that's nice.
You're not a stodgy old person saying, now let me tell you something. When I was a boy,
Yeah.
I mean, first of all, you shouldn't say when you were a boy because you weren't. But I think it's going to go really well.
I'm proud of you.
Thank you. I've gone back to Mount Sac a few times to talk to the students, and I can't tell you how many people love you, which I was surprised.
Don't say that.
And these are educated people?
Well, she says people.
Well, no,
she means some of the farm animals hanging out
they're young
in the agricultural lab.
They're super young, and they're like, not that, I know I'm like saying, I always think that they're just like into like Taylor Swift and like Billie Eilish, and like,
there's big crossover between my fans and Billie Eilish fans and Taylor Swift fans. I'm convinced of that.
No.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just because you convinced yourself doesn't mean that it's true.
On her current tour, Taylor often starts the show by saying, how many Conan fans we got in the crowd? And the place erupts.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've not seen any footage of that at all.
I haven't seen it either. And I haven't even heard about it, but I'm pretty sure it's happening because of my power to deceive myself is absolutely incredible.
That's impressive.
Conifties.
Yeah, Conifties are the. I'm a Conifty. Excuse me, what's that? A Taylor Swift fan who's also a Conan O'Brien fan. Okay, how many are there?
I said
None.
I'm a Conifty.
I'm the Conifty.
Yeah,
that's what it should be.
Yeah.
Are you the? You know what? It's like this rare bird that no one's seen in 1,000 years.
Yeah.
Are you the Conifty? Someone who loves Taylor Swift, but also loves that fringe weirdo?
They photoshopped a picture of the two of you, like just together hanging out.
Yep. So cool. Well, when is it happening? It's happening very soon.
Well, by the time the audience hears this, it will have already happened on June 9th.
Okay.
So.
Do you get to wear a gown and a mortarboard and all
Yeah.
that? That's nice.
I know. That's going to be cool.
Do you get a special like scarf of some kind,
I
like
don't
in
know.
Nexium?
I have no idea.
Are they going to give you any kind of doctorate? You get a doctorate?
Come on.
I don't know.
You got an honorary doctorate?
I'm not sure. I think from Dartmouth they said something. I don't know. I don't
don't be
remember
coy.
I'm not being coy. I honestly don't know. They put something around we got to look up what I got.
I'm pretty sure he got a doctorate.
Yeah, but I know that I wanted it to be an oral surgeon. I wanted to actually be a doctor afterwards and then be able to open up.
Dr.
Doctor of Arts.
I'm
There
a
you
doctor
go.
of arts.
Doctor of Arts.
Jesus.
I'm a doctor of arts.
Come on.
Motherfuckers. Is there a doctor in it? I wish next time I'm on an airplane and something happens, they go like, is there a doctor here? Hello? I am a doctor of arts from Dartmouth. And I'm going to push my way to the front. Well, this person seems to be having a heart attack. Have you got a book? Maybe Thackeray? Or one of the Bronte sisters?
Care to talk about the contrapposto of the statue, David?
Because on those matters, I'm good to go.
He's
he's dead. He's dead. He died while you were talking about the Brontes. Well, I did what I could. I suppose that makes me some kind of hero.
Excuse me, I'm an actual doctor and I couldn't get up here because this asshole was blocking the aisle.
I'm actually a pulmonary specialist. I could have saved this man by doing chest compressions. That's all well and good. But I got here first because I'm a doctor of the arts. Well, all right. Let's wrap it up, gang.
Congratulations, Sona. Congratulations to those students.
And you know what? My advice to you is enjoy it. That's a moment when you're up there. Take it in and you have a tendency to go, oh, no, blah, blah. Take it in. That's a really nice moment.
Okay.
They'll be thrilled that you're there and enjoy it. And we're really proud of you.
Oh, that's very cool. Thanks, guys.
All right. Peace out, Tupac.